Hey guys, what's up? It's Sia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a sit down YouTube video, and I wanted to film kind of like a girl talk video for a really long time. And today I wanted to film one about friends. I'm going to be answering other questions too, but on my Instagram story I just asked you guys to ask me questions about friends, and I'm going to be answering the questions that just got sent in. So they're very new, fresh questions. And yeah, this is going to be mostly based off of questions about friends, but I also wanted to answer a few other ones because I know other people didn't ask me questions about friends. So I'm very excited for this video. I think I've gone through a lot of friendships in my life, and I've made mistakes in friendships. I've dealt with being hurt in friendships. I've dealt with a lot of friendships in only my short time of living. Literally, I'm a freshman in high school and I've already dealt with many friendships in my life. And I just want to give you guys my advice. And I know that in a year or in 10 years, my perspective and my experiences are definitely going to change so much. First, I'm going to answer this question. My friend is ditching me a lot for her boyfriend, and we don't have that bond anymore. I'm so lost. So I think, obviously when you have friendships when you're younger, it's completely different. If you get in a fight or you have a friendship breakup, it's usually something completely different. I think when you reach high school or even 8th grade, it can sometimes become a thing about boys. And what I've learned is, there's going to be girls that won't change for boys, and there's going to be girls that are confident in themselves and they don't need to become a different person for a boy or, drop their friends for a boy. But then there are going to be girls who are like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that at a time as a girl, you're going to go through that phase. I mean, I don't think I've gone through that phase yet. I know that I will probably, and most girls go through a phase where everything in their life is about boys. And I think what you have to realize is maybe let her go for the time being. I think what would be best is to just, tell her how you're feeling, say that you don't appreciate her not spending time with you. Say, I support you in this guy, but I want you to also be making time for me because I make time for you. Be super calm, super, get your point across. And if she still doesn't understand you and is still not making time for you, I would say tell her that you just need some time apart, and maybe eventually she'll come back to you and be like, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. And I think sometimes it's better in friendships to take a break, come back stronger, and have a better bond. But I know that that can be so hurtful because it's you want to spend time with this person, you love this person, and then they're kind of ditching you for another person. But what I would say is just really take a step back and let her figure it out for herself. I'm 15 and I have no friends. Do you have any tips on how to make friendships? Okay, so I totally understand this. I think in high school, it's the most difficult thing with friends. It's truly the most difficult thing with friends. I think there's a lot of people making assumptions about you. There's a lot of people saying things about you. There's a lot of people, there's cliques and there's groups. And personally, I like to not be in a group, and I like to just do my own thing. And I think what you have to do is realize the people that truly love you, care about you, and want to be your friend are going to be your friend. So you just have to focus on yourself, focus on your confidence, focus on your goals and your values. And while you're doing that, let people come to you. Don't force yourself on people, or don't be friends with people just because you want to be in that group or you want to be cool. Don't do that. Just let friends come to you. And honestly, my advice is to just have a good relationship with as many people as possible. I have my, core best friends that actually don't go to my school at all. So yeah, I think that that's my best advice. Just take it easy and don't force anything, because you have to let it come naturally. This is a not friend question, but how do you feel confident dressing differently from everyone else? I mean, I would say I dress differently, not crazy differently. I definitely dress up more than people at my school, or dress up more in general. But that's always kind of how I've been. I've always been someone who likes to dress up. I've always been someone who enjoys dressing up, enjoys having like a different fashion sense than some people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, it makes me feel more confident to dress that way. If I dressed a different way, I don't think I'd be as confident. So honestly, it's so natural to me to just dress the way I do, and I enjoy dressing up for school. It makes me feel a little bit more excited to go to school because there's days when school is just not fun and it's just not a place you want to be, and I think my outfit sometimes will help me. And obviously there's days I wear sweatpants, like there's days where I'm not dressed up, but I think everything around that realm of like just being confident, like just do it. Like, honestly, when you look back years later, you're gonna be so thankful you just did what you wanted and you weren't looking around to see what everyone else wanted you to do. How do you deal with mean girls? I think, in high school, no one's a mean girl. I wouldn't say there's mean girls. I think there's just a lot of tension in high school. And I think that there's just a lot of people, wanting to be a certain way, or a lot of people, just wanting to have friends. So they're going to do anything to have friends. They're going to go with a group even if they don't want to. So I think what you have to do is just stick to your morals. You just have to be confident and you just have to love yourself. And if you love yourself and you have a great relationship with like people who care about you, like your family, I would say it's really helpful to have just one really good friend in your life. Like, obviously, quality over quantity. Like, having that one really good friend that you can talk to about like anything is so important. So yeah, I would say just ignore people. They're gonna say things about you. It's usually because they're just bored and they just want to fit in. This comes to my next question I was just talking about. Is it better to have a big group of friends or a small group? I would say I've always been a very like extroverted person. I love being around people. I love talking. I could talk all day. I love having conversations with people. But truly at heart, I think I'm an introvert, and I think I've learned that about myself this past year, that I would rather have one really good friend or even like two or three really good friends than a big group of friends. I've learned that personally, I would rather be alone. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I love going out. I love like dressing up and I love going to like football games and like all of that. But truly, I think I've learned that I honestly have become a little bit of an introvert, not in my personality because I'm a very outgoing person, but I think like when it comes to hanging out with people, I would rather be like by myself. I'm very comfortable with who I am, and I think that that's something that's so important. You have to be comfortable with yourself. Otherwise, how are you going to be comfortable with anyone else? But there's definitely big groups of friends where you can do that. I just personally think that it's rare to have like a huge group of friends that you can trust and tell them anything and not feel judged. How are you able to make friends with the possibility of losing them one day? So I feel like this question, you can't go into friendships thinking I'm gonna lose them. I think that it's hard because there's a lot of friendships that you are gonna lose in your life, but you can't go into a friendship with that mindset. You have to go in with a positive, I'm gonna give my whole like energy and time into the person. And if they are not gonna put the same energy into you, if they're gonna take your friendship for granted, then that's their bad. And you just know that you were a good friend to them. And I think that it's truly like, okay, you have to step back from your friendship and be like, was I a good friend to them? Did I put in energy towards them? Did I do everything I could to be a good person towards them? And if the answer is yes to those questions, then you did all you could. Sometimes you just can't force people to like you, and sometimes people are just they just don't. And that's just life. But you have to go into a friendship with a positive mindset, just like you have to go into everything with a positive mindset. Dance and body image. So this is not a friendship question, but this is a very difficult question. I think that being a ballet dancer and looking at yourself in a mirror for every single day for like 6 or more hours, it sucks, and it's so tiring to pick apart yourself. And I've never been someone to really look at my body or really like think, oh, I don't like this about my body. I think that, when you get older and you're in the dance world and ballet world, I mean, any sport, especially ballet though, because it's so mirror looking, like you're just always looking in the mirror, you just can't pick yourself apart. You have to just accept yourself and you have to realize that you're not there to look at your body, you're there because you love it. And if you're not there because you love it, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it, And I think that there's times in ballet where I'll get in this whole like, oh, I hate this about my body. I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was this. But then I'm like, no, I'm here because I love ballet. I'm not here to look at my body and tell myself I don't like this about myself. Like, that's not why you're there. How to tell somebody you don't want to be their friend without sounding rude. This is probably like one of the most difficult things to do. I think there's a way of going about it that a lot of people don't realize you can do. I think, sometimes you just don't click with people. And sometimes it sucks because I've been in this situation where I am friends with someone and I just don't click. I don't like their energy. I don't vibe with them anymore. I don't like the way that we like are with each other. Like it doesn't work. And sometimes it's just how it is. And I will be mad at myself and I'll be like, why do you feel this way? Like, this person is a great person, but sometimes you're just not the right people for each other. And I think there's a very, very nice way to go about this that people forget to do. And honestly, it's being like, hey, can we go to lunch or can we like grab a coffee and can we just talk about our friendship? And maybe in that time, by talking about your friendship, you'll realize, okay, maybe I do like this person. Maybe we just needed to clear the air and talk about some things. And if you're at coffee or at lunch with this person and you truly realize they're not the person for you, and maybe you go to the coffee and you go to the lunch date or whatever with the person and you aren't vibing, then I think what you do is you be nice to the person still. You try to treat them as kindly as possible and you walk away from the situation. And I would say just, slowly just like drift away from them, but be as nice as possible. I think there's ways to go about it that are nicer than, sending them a message or sending them like a text message. And I've done this before and I regret it because I wish that I would have been the bigger person and just talked things over, And I think that a lot of girls especially like to just create drama. And sometimes friendship breakups aren't even drama. You don't vibe with the person, but there's a nice way to go about it. Okay, I'm going to answer one last question because I have answered a lot of questions and I think I've went on a little bit of a rant because there's so many things to talk about. But this is the last question. What do you do if your friends always make fun of you and bring you down? So, immediate no. Like, your friends should be making you a better person. Every time you hang out with your friends, you shouldn't leave feeling tired. You shouldn't leave feeling sad. You shouldn't leave feeling run down. You should leave feeling energized, filled with serotonin. You should leave filled with happiness, filled with like excitement to see them again. And if that is not how you feel, then you need to get out of that friendship and you need to try your best to not be friends with that group. And I think that so often people don't want to do that because it's like, would you rather have a group of friends or would you rather not have a group of friends? But you also have to think about, would you rather have a like bad group of friends that are making your mental health decline, or would you rather have yourself and your confidence and your happiness? And think that obviously your confidence, your happiness, your values, all of that is going to overweigh like the bad group of friends. So you just have to leave that situation. There's so many other people out there for you. And I think you just have to remember that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love talking about friendships and I love talking about relationships. And I think that I've experienced many good ones and many bad ones, but I think they've all taught me like important lessons in my life. And they've taught me lessons about myself, other people. And I think in situations where you lose a friend or you're being ditched by a friend or you have to break up with a friend, you always can take something positive out of it and apply it to your next friendship. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you so much.